I'm Moorlander. Today we're filming from a secret location of Moorlander Towers, the secret residence of thousands of years of Moorlander history. I'm coming to you today with the H2R Nova from Olight. This is a right angle, hopefully as you can see, a right angle flashlight, and it's a light that I've wanted to do a review of for quite some time now. And in the recent sale, I thought I'd make a purchase so that we can have a review. So it's made from a aluminium body, and what you do get with Olight is an amazing build quality. This thing really is nice and tough. So it's an aluminium body. The lens, if you can see, if you can pick that up, is an orange peel style lens. So it's made really for diffusing the light. One of the things that comes with this, which is having to do a little bit of pocket juggling, is a head strap. So you can strap this to the head strap, strap it to the head strap, that's it, and you can use this as a headlight, and that diffuser works really well for being able to scatter the light for you. The LED cell that's in it is a Cree, and I'm reading from there, hopefully you saw that, is a Cree HP ZXHP 50 LED light, and it comes in two versions. There is a cool white and a natural white, and this is, when we have a look at it in a minute, this is the cool light version. The main difference between the two is the cool light throws a very white light, whereas the more natural white throws similar to a bulb that you'd have in your house, where it's just got a slight yellow tinge to it. The other difference between the two is the cool white version goes up to 2300 lumens, whereas the natural white goes up to 2000 lumens. Some extra details about this then. So as far as I mentioned, it being nice and rugged and tough, it does have IPX8 ratings, so you get a level of waterproofness to that. It's about 100 grams with the battery in there. The battery itself is an 1865 lithium cell, which is it's 3000 milliamp hours, and it's 110 millimeters, 11 centimeters, or 4.3 inches. So the functions, now I had a bit of feedback from my last flashlight video, which was the first ever one that I did, from a guy on YouTube called, and I hope I pronounced this right, I believe it's Watete. Now that was really scary because a peacock just flew over my head. Here at Moorlander Towers we've got hundreds of wild animals and peacocks just wandering around. That's a peahen, not a peacock. So as I was saying, and again I hope I get this right, but Watete did leave a very valid comment, is why would you do a flashlight video and not have it in the dark? So with the magic of science and a very loud peahen, I'll be making sure you get to see this in the dark. So the actual functions I'll show you now, just so that you can see them in the way that I'm pressing these, and then we'll quickly fast forward and we'll shoot this in the dark as well. So the first one is, so the button itself is on the cap end, and it's one button press, and it works. There's no having to hold it down. You click the button, it turns on. When it's on, you then have three modes. At the moment, it's currently in low mode, which is 30 lumens, and then to get it into the next mode, which is medium, you have to hold it down for a second, and you'll see that it'll then bump up. Medium is 150 lumens. Hold it down again, it goes up to high mode, which is 600 lumens. To turn it off, you click it, it turns off, and it has a memory. So whatever you finish it on, so if I put it now down into low mode, 30 lumens, turn it off, turn it back on again, and it stays on that mode, so it will remember that. We do have some double clicks, so and some long presses. So now that it's off, if I do a long press for a second, you'll see that it and I want that's off. Oh, got a lot of gnats as well. A long press for just over a second, you get moon mode, which is just 1 lumen. What we then have is, which is the main reason for this, main reason I wanted to, a double click puts it then onto turbo mode, which is 2300 lumens, which we'll have a look at how that looks in a second in the dark. So that's double click. You then have a triple click, which turns on your SOS mode, and you can see that it's cycling through S, O, S, dot 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 dash 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 dot 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 dash dash dash. And any of these settings, just a click, that will turn it off. There is also, for people that are worried that you can literally just tap this and it will turn on. There is a lock function where if you hold it down for 2 seconds, you'll get a little flash, and then that then is in lock mode, and you can't accidentally turn it on. When you do push it down, you just get a little flash so that you know that it's not coming on. If you then want it to come out lock mode, keep your finger down on it, 2 seconds, come out of lock mode again, 1, 2, there we go, we're out of lock mode. That's kind of one of the main things, which I suppose it's probably useful to do this section now. I always do a section where I go through, is there anything that I'd change about it? And it's mainly the interface with this. Getting used to it is a lot different than some of other flashlights. In a strange way, I do and I don't like the user interface for this. And it's mainly because you have these double clicks, you have long presses, you have 2 second long presses, you have longer than 2 second long presses. For me, I think it would be more intuitive. So 1 click will get it to come on. Double click is your turbo. So I like the double click for turbo. I like the triple click for SOS. But for me, I just think to get it to turn on should be a longer than 1 second hold. Then to cycle through each of the options where you've got low, medium, high, then I think that's where you should be able to press the buttons, where with this, the buttons turn it off. Because once it's on, you then have to hold down the button for a second to be able to cycle through them. So if you are on low and you want to get up to high, it's going to take you at least 2-3 seconds to get there. There's the peacock again. Whereas if you held it down for a second, or maybe just a fraction longer than a second, so that it turns on, to then just be able to go click, 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 and it's on the mode that you want, although I've just put it into what's it mode, I think that would be more useful. It's not to say that I haven't got used to it, apart from that little, that just shows that when you're recording things, it doesn't always go your way. Okay, so is there anything else that I missed? No, I don't think so. So now let's have a look at this in the dark. Spin that around, and there we go. Now you're probably not going to be able to see my face. I'll turn this back on now. So we're back in the dark through the magic of editing, and we'll go through the different light cycles. So I'm going to turn this round. First of all, we have this on the low setting, so you're probably not going to see much. And see here, there's a concrete obelisk there, which is about 5 meters away. But when I move it over to these trees, you can just about see the trees. Obviously, you can see the outline of the trees, but they're probably about 10 meters away. Now, at this 30 lumens, you get 50 hours of light from this battery. Now, what I'll do is I'll bump it up, and there we've got there we have then the 150 lumens, which you get about roughly 10 hours of light from this. So you can now see the detail in those trees a lot clearer. And then, as I say, that's about 10 meters away. You can see a lot more detail on that. And then we've got some more trees over there that you can now see even more detail on. And then again, we've got some trees there. So let's bump that up again. Next step is 600 lumens, which you get roughly 2.5 hours from. So this you can see is, you know, it's pushing a lot of light back. You can see the trees behind, which go on for another 30-40 meters. Here's those trees again, which are about 10 meters away. More trees there, 20 meters away. But when I come round to here and start to point it back towards the house, you can see that you've got some trees over there that are 30 to 40 meters away as well, that you can start to see. So you do get a lot of clarity from that. Now what I'll do is I'll turn it off, and with a double click we then get the 2300 lumens, and it kicks out a lot of light. Obviously you can see that one there, we've got 10 meters, 20 meters. You can see perfect detail on some of these trees, and then it throws the light all the way back to the building over there as well. Now at 2300 lumens, what will happen is it will stay at this brightness for roughly a minute, and then it drops down to 110 lumens, just purely because the amount of heat that this thing kicks out. And when you put your hand against the front, it does get incredibly hot. It gets very hot indeed. Now one last thing that I wanted to show you was the Moonlight Mode. So if I let's turn that off. Put Moonlight Mode on. So this is just 1 lumen, and you can just see it on the grass, but what I've done is I've moved the camera down, so it's now only about, say, less than a meter away from the floor. If I was to put this on my face, hopefully you can see me there, but it's not very bright. This gives up to 45 days worth of light, but this 1 lumen is actually really useful, because when you're in a building, you're trying to find some keys, there's people around, or you don't want to wake anybody up. It's really, really, really good for that. But then what you can do if you're outside and you're trying to use this, hopefully you can see, even if I turn this round and I point it towards the obelisk, you don't get much light from it at all. Whereas if I turn it off, double click for that burst, you can see that it's almost like daylight. It's brilliant. So there you go. Oh hi! Silly me. There were some things that I forgot to mention in that incredibly informative video, and one of those was quite important, and that is that the Olight H2R comes with a handy dandy charging cable. Both the flashlight itself and the charging cable both have batteries built into them, so the bottom of the light just clips to it, and it really is super useful. So when you have this plugged in, it's a standard USB cable, so if it's plugged into a laptop, it's plugged into a mobile phone charger, it will just charge it up, super simple. And that really is it. Hopefully you can see there that it flings it to it. There is a little LED indicator on here, so while it's charging and it's providing power to the battery, the LED on the end here turns red, and then when it's fully charged it turns green. I think I noted in the video just that the on and off button was on the cap end. This is the cap end, which you get with a lot of flashlights, the tail or the cap end where you press the button. The on-off button's actually it's actually at the top here, which is where the LED is. So cool. I hope you liked the video. As always, don't forget to like. If you like this piece of content, then hit the like button. That'd be great. Shows me that you do enjoy these pieces of content. If it is that you like my material, like the content that I make, my material, hey, then please feel free to subscribe. That'd be great as well. And share. So I have been asking if you could share these videos on your social media page. That'd be even better. So at this point, stay safe, stay Moorlander, stay EDC.